Welcome back everyone. So I want to provide everyone an update with the Pi feature. This is a video you definitely want to see all the way to the end, as it's most likely going to save you money in the near future. So there's been an update on the auto invest, and now there is a minimum Pi order value. And so this took place on Christmas Day, believe it or not. And they state, as of today, i.e. 25th of December, we'll be increasing the minimum value order amount for a slice within a Pi to £1. This means that the minimum investment amount for your Pi will be adjusted also. Dividend reinvesting, DRIP, will be triggered once the amount in your Pi cash surpasses the Pi's threshold. I'm just going to switch over to my account, and within the Pi section, I have several Pi's. Now, I break up my Pi's based on sector. That's just how I've done it from the onset, given that the feature to have a Pi nested within a Pi still isn't available. And now within each of these different Pi's, I have different number of slices. So within my bond section, if I go into holdings, I just have one company. But if I go into consumer, we can see that I have a range here. And that equates to 9 companies currently being held. And so this news as of 25th of December has caused a lot of problems for individuals that have one single Pi and they hold a lot of companies. Now, a video a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about the Pi sharing feature. For those that are interested, I'll attach a link. But in short, a lot of the Pis that have been created have a lot of companies. And so on the share feature, I've just picked the top performing Pi out there. Now, I don't want to knock anyone here. I think that the concept here is really interesting to receive daily dividends. The issue though is that there's a lot of companies within this Pi, and the way that they're calculating this formula is that you look at the lowest weighting that you provide to a company. So in this case, it's 0.1%. And so the changes that Trading 212 is implementing, where every company needs to have at least £1 when executing the order, it just means that your initial deposit when you want to buy into this Pi is much higher as a result. And so as an example, in my bond section, I just have one holding, that's one company. And so when I want to invest into this Pi, click invest, we can see that I can enter £1 and that will be executed. In the past, I could do something like 0.2 and that would be possible, but it's no longer the case. Per slice or per company, the minimum order is £1. Now, if I go onto consumer, you can see all the holdings, the 9 companies there. And if I try and do the same, so in this case, if I want to just do £1, well, it doesn't allow me to confirm the buy. Because I have 9 companies and they are weighted differently, but I can change this to 10. So now £10 for this Pi is the minimum order. And we can see every single company is receiving at least £1 or more when executing the order. So in the first case with bonds, one company, just £1, almost 10 companies, £10, we can see the trend that's taking place. But what is happening is that as we have more companies, the percentage that we provide becomes less and less. So if I'm in a situation where I want to allocate 1% to a company, then to reach that 1%, I'm having to fund a lot more so that that £1 can be executed. The more companies I add, the lower the percentage or the weighting that is provided for each company. So you can see how this initial investment has to go up. What this means is that you'll have scenarios where the received dividends are just sitting there and they're not being converted from cash to shares in the underlying company or companies. Now, if I'm completely honest, this is not a big problem for myself. I generally invest from 20 to 100 very comfortably when manually adding to the Pi's. But for anyone that wants to just add £5 here and there, this has become a lot difficult to do. And in some cases, this Pi functionality may not be ideal. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video that there's a potential of losing money, and that's what I want to talk about now. So there was another announcement by Trading 212, and it's with respect to the Invest in ISA account. This change is taking place on the 4th of January 2021. I believe this is written in day, month, year, but if I am incorrect, let me know in the comments below. And so they state, since the launch of our Invest in ISA services, we've been covering all deposit fees charged by payment providers. Typically, these fees are included in the price of the products and services that you buy, but our share dealing service is completely free and the transferred amounts have grown to billions of pounds per year. That's why, starting from 4th of the 1st, 2021, we are introducing a lifetime limit on free deposits via all payment methods other than bank transfers and instant bank transfers, which is also known as open banking. So funding via credit and debit cards, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Skrill, Ideal, DotPay, GiroPay, and so forth will remain fee-free until you have deposited £2,000 in total. A fee of 0.7% will apply thereafter. Please note that we do not profit from this fee. Its purpose is to cover the costs levied by payment providers and card companies. Okay, so if I just switch back to my account, and we can see that when we deposit funds, we have the option to deposit via instant bank transfer or bank transfer, which is completely free of charge going forwards. What isn't the case is if I select any of the ones below, so credit, debit card, Google Pay, Skrill, etc. Now you can see on my end I've connected to instant bank transfer. It's a lot more simpler than the bank transfer, and so I won't have to worry about this £2,000 free limit that they are enabling. I definitely transfer more than £2,000 within a tax year, so I would be hit by that 0.7%. Now here's the problem. Investing manually into companies, not a problem at all. I take that money held in cash and I invest. But when it comes to the Pi section, at least how I've defined it in the past is I would have auto invest enabled. So at the moment I've turned off auto invest from every single Pi that I own. If I enable this, then when we add the payment method, all we have available is to add credit or debit card or Google Pay. All of these situations will incur fees. I'm assuming this message will change in the future. But if I select any of those options, then I'll have £2,000 that are free, but thereon I will pay 0.7% in transaction fees. So what does this mean? Well, everything's going to remain the same. As I said, auto invest is switched off, so there's no automatic payments going into the Pies. It's really unfortunate because that was the whole purpose of having these Pies and funding them automatically. There were definitely a few here that I funded automatically, but what I'll be doing now is I'll be taking those free funds and then I'll be selecting at any given time, do I want to pay into, say, the bonds Pi, or do I want to pay into the finance Pi? I will now manually make those decisions. Now it appears to be the case going forwards that the credit or debit card that you connect will have that 2,000 free fee limit and then 0.7% afterwards. I understand that there are fees that they don't want to be paying, but all these changes feel as though it's not really a well thought out thought process when it comes to the business side of things. And so that leads me on to a message for Trading 212. If anyone is listening, for sure there's a lot of fans of the platform. I think I can speak for the majority of people here that we do like the changes that we've seen. The Pi feature, for instance, was really exciting, and this is something that I showcased during the beta phase. But since then there's been these changes that haven't really met customer expectation. So whenever there's a situation where you have to change your investment strategy or change the way your account is funded, it definitely impacts that customer to business relationship. I fully respect that these decisions are to reduce any costs and not having to impose any unnecessary costs in the future, but I do struggle to see why this hasn't been planned out thoroughly before even performing at the implementation stage. There's definitely a lot of upset people in the forums. People that have had a lot of companies in a single Pi are definitely struggling to invest large amounts, and I do feel as though with the Pi sharing feature, having this social aspect has caused a lot of people to duplicate Pies, and so of course there's a lot more traffic taking place when executing these Pi orders. But this is a consequence that has been created by the Trading 212 team without really understanding the business implications as a result. So what I want to see in the future, and let's be real, no one's gonna listen to me, but I definitely want to see better communication when it comes to customer support. There's a lot of people that are obviously irritated and it's a lot of difficulty handling those expectations, but when it comes to these new features, we don't want to see updates that have been written last minute just because it's been called out on the subreddit feeds or within the Trading 212 community. We want to see improvements going forwards. Even if we're given a really limited feature and then we see improvements going forwards, then that's much better for the consumers. In this case, we had a high number of features in the beta phase as opposed to when the Pi feature was released, and it really shouldn't be that way. Now, of course, Trading 212 has to make these changes to stay profitable, otherwise they're just going to add other fees elsewhere. So with these changes, fair play if they need to be changed behind the scenes, but customers should be given a little bit more of a faster warning. For instance, with the £1 minimum per slice, that was implemented within a couple of days. So I guess just take the time to think about these features, don't rush them too much, and then hopefully customers will be happy as a result. So let me know in the comments below what you think about these changes. Let me know if you're handling anything differently to what I'm doing. I'm definitely interested. By the time this video comes out, maybe there'll be changes from the Trading 212 team, but these changes is what it's looking to be going forwards. So hopefully that was helpful for everyone. New videos are posted every week. If you landed on my channel for the first time, then definitely subscribe or hit that thumbs up. Helps the channel out a lot. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next one.